And it is 9:30, so welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Sara, and I'm a certified Warriors Ease Level 2 teacher. And I'm going to guide you through the next 30 minutes. So, morning and welcome. For those just signing in right now, I had mentioned that you're welcome to grab props. I have blocks available. I have a blanket. I have a pillow. All great alternatives. Towels are also great. So you quickly grab whatever you need. We're going to start in child's pose this morning. So we're going to start in child's pose. You can start in a traditional child's pose with those knees together, arms straight out in front. You could choose a wider version. Open up those hips a little so the knees are as wide as the mat and those toes and heels meet. And then you gently sink back also. So you choose when you need to be. The forehead gently touching the mat. If it bothers your shoulders to have those arms straight, you can gently just allow those elbows to naturally bend and fall to the mat. Just taking a few minutes here. And as we're in child's pose, I want you to really just focus on your breath, just as it is. So just focusing on that breath as it is, no judgment. Another great alternative is to take a blanket or a towel and put it between the glute and those heels if that makes this pose also a little more comfortable. And again, you can have a towel underneath those knees, a blanket. I really want you to get comfortable in this pose. Being able to relax in this pose. Super important. And again, we're just focusing on our breath just as it is. Being aware of our breath. Just taking a few moments here. And as we start to become more aware of our breath, we're really focusing on even imagining that belly expanding and gently falling. Noticing any movement. Again, really resting for a moment in this pose. A few more breaths here. And the next breath, we're going to gently come up. I'm just going to remove this blanket. And we're going to come into tabletop. And remember, in tabletop, your shoulders over those wrists. And you can place a blanket underneath the knees or a towel. And we can have our feet flexed off flat. I'm going to do some circles. So we're going to come forward and gently back. Now, how far you go is entirely up to you. Just waking up those hips. Just gently moving back and forth. And then we're going to reverse that circle. So now we're going to go anti-clockwise. And gently open up those hips. You can come all the way back if you like. Just allow that to be a natural movement wherever your body needs to go this morning. And then we'll come back to center. So hands are nice and flat on the mat. We're going to do some nice cat-cows. So we're going to take a deep inhale, gently looking up, expanding that belly. And And then as we exhale, exhale, chin to chest, arch in the back like a cat. So we'll take a deep inhale. And then we'll exhale, chin to chest. So again, take a deep inhale, looking up, listening to your neck, go where you need to go. And then as we exhale, tuck that chin, arching the back. So we'll do 2 more at your own breath. Taking a deep inhale. And then exhale. 1 more. Really allow that belly to expand. And then exhale, chin to chest. And come back to that neutral spine. So I'm going to do a modified up dog to child's pose. So we're gearing up to work on our chaturanga today. So hands are firmly planted. You come a little bit further forward if you need. We're going to gently roll forward, arching the back, coming up. So we're looking up, we're opening up that heart. And then we'll gently push back into child's pose. On your next breath, you're going to gently come forward. Roll gently forward on those knees. And then curving up, bringing that heart up to the sky. And then gently pushing back. So I want you to do a few more of these at your own breath. And pause here in child's pose. And then gently rocking forward. Looking up. It's a great way to prepare for our chaturangas. It's nice, gentle rocking motion. And as you look up, open up that heart. And then gently come back. And working on that breath, using that breath as your power. Just 1 more. Opening up that heart. And then gently sitting back into your chest. Taking a moment here. Gently resting that forehead. And then we'll come back to tabletop. So we're going to work on a modified side plank. So you're going to bring that left hand to the center of the mat. You're going to pivot this left leg back behind the mat. And gently come into a side plank. So you can start with your hand on your hip. My body wanted to go straight with the arm up. So that back leg is dragging down. You got that right leg nice and straight. You have your hand on your hip to support you if you like. You can raise that arm to the sky. Trying to stack those shoulders. If you want to take it a step further, you can even try and raise the leg, but don't feel like you have to. Foot is nice and flexed. You can stay right here with that foot gently pressing on the mat if you like to. And then we'll gently come back down to tabletop and come to our child's pose one more time. Using that breath. Feel the movement of the belly. And then come back to tabletop. So I'm going to move around just so that you can see. And we're going to do the other side. This time we're going to pivot. We're going to bring that right hand to the center. Pivot that right leg behind. And then gently coming into our modified side plank on this side. So again, you can have that hand on your hip. Have a towel, a blanket under that knee at any point. If you want to go a step further, you can raise that hand up to the sky. Can't look straight ahead. You can twist that head slightly and look up to the sky if you like. Listen to your neck and how that feels. And again, you can also raise the leg. You do not have to. This is your practice. Your 30 minutes. Listen to your body. And then we'll gently out of the pose, back into tabletop and into our child's pose. Head gently resting on the mat. And again, if the arms are straight or uncomfortable, you can gently just allow them to naturally bend. Still focusing on the movement in the belly. And gently come to tabletop. So remember with your tabletop, you're nice. Your arms are firmly planted in the mat. So we're going to flex our feet. It's super important for those hands to be firmly planted in the mat. And then we'll gently raise up into downward facing dog. Really push through those palms, shoot that tailbone up. If there's a lot of pressure on those shoulders, you can slightly bend the knees. And we have the tendency in child's pose to really just want to bring those heels down to the mat. A great way to get into that pose instead of going straight into it is to bend the knees and then gently bring those heels towards the mat. If you've got tight hamstrings or calves, that may be difficult, and it's okay if they don't touch. And then we're going to gently move one knee at a time into our nice happy dog. And then back to our downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to come either to a plank or onto our knees. And we're going to come into our first chaturanga. So I'll demonstrate on my knees. You can go on your toes if you would like. So we're going to gently roll forward. Those elbows at a 90-degree angle right by your ribs. Coming all the way down. You can either come all the way down into up dog, or you can turn those toes and go a little higher here. Just like we practiced. And then gently come back into downward facing dog from there. So we're going to do a couple of those this morning. I thought we'd work on our chaturangas. Remember, you can be on your toes or on your knees. Pedal out those legs one more time. And then we'll gently come either to plank or on your knees. So I'm going to demonstrate this version this time. So we're going to gently roll forward, either on your knees or toes. And then gently come either all the way down in cobra or up dog. And then downward facing dog. Taking a moment here. Really focusing on pushing through those palms. And again, if it's uncomfortable in your shoulders, you can gently have a static pose, bend those knees. You can come down to your knees at any point. We're going to come back again, so either into that plank or on those knees. We're going to gently roll forward, coming down into that beautiful cobra, and then back to downward facing dog. So again, bend those knees to that nice happy dog for a Friday. We're going to do one more. So from here, again, come either into your plank or on your knees. And we're going to come all the way down to the mat this time. And then we're going to place one arm on top of each other. You can rest your hand on those, bring those feet up if you like, and then just gently sway them from side to side. Releasing those hips a little and those downward facing dogs. You can even place the head all the way down. Entirely up to you. You find you can turn one ear onto the mat. And then from here, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So we're going to come up onto those arms, palms are flat. I'm going to quickly grab a block so I can demonstrate an alternative for this pose. So we're in a Sphinx pose. So hands are flat on the mat. So a great way to relieve like tension in the shoulders and that lower back. So hands are firmly planted. You can look straight ahead. You can gently rest that neck if you need. And hold the pose from here. Now if this does hurt your neck, you can take this block. And in the middle right here, between those hands. And then just gently rest the top of the head on the block. So that's a great alternative if this does bother your neck. And we're just going to hold this pose for a couple of breaths. Taking a moment here, really focusing on that belly breath again. Now gently release out of this pose. Bring those arms back down to the mat again. You can bring one ear down if you like. And then just relieve that lower back one more time. Swaying those legs from side to side. So focusing on your breath. And then gently releasing those legs down. So we're going to come onto our backs. So if you want to be a little more comfortable in this position, you can always put a blanket underneath your head. It's a great way to really relax in this pose. And we're going to start with our knees up. So feet are flat on the mat. And from here, just similar to what we did on our bellies, we're just going to windshield wiper those legs from side to side. And you bring those arms out a little wider. As this time on our next breath, we're going to bring those legs all the way, well not all the way, but towards the left. Say all the way, but it needs to be where your body needs to go this morning. And you can gently look up to the sky, or you can look over to the right. So the opposite way of the way your legs are going. Nice little gentle spinal twist. And as the weeks go by, we'll practice our chaturangas more and more. They're a great way of strengthening those arms, those shoulders, those obliques. And then we'll gently bring those knees back to center and over to the right side this time. So let them fall where they need to fall. You can also place a blanket block underneath those knees to support. So you could take, for example, a blanket, or if you have a bolster, you could double up on a blanket and just allow those knees. And then gently either look up, and we'll go over to the left. And that beautiful spinal twist. Still focusing on the breath. And then gently coming back. Just setting, bring those hands a little bit closer to your side. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So a great way to modify with bridge is to take a block. Obviously, there are two different levels. You can have it on this lowest point. You can bring it higher up. So really grounding down those feet into the mat. Really the heels. If you push through the heels, you'll automatically activate those glutes. So as we push up, we gently place this block either at this level, or maybe you want to go a little higher onto that little part of the backs, that little bony part. And hold it right here. And again, you don't have to go this high. Go slightly lower. And just make sure that's comfortable for you where you place that block. Just take a moment here. And if you feel you don't want to block at all, that's okay. You can push through those heels and bring those hips up to the sky. And again, we always think of this pose and really having to squeeze those glutes, but if you're pushing through the heels, you automatically activate the glutes. This is great for opening up the diaphragm, opening up that chest, keeping those lungs nice and healthy. There are a lot of advantages to this pose. And it's okay to be right now here, just resting on the block too. A beautiful restorative pose. Just taking a few breaths here. Slowing down the breath. And if you're on the block, gently raise the hips up a little higher, and then we'll all come down. So we're going to bring that right knee in towards the chest. And we're going to interlace those fingers just below that knee. And you can keep this left knee up, or you can gently bring it all the way down. Try and bring it all the way down if you can. Flexing the foot will help bring that calf towards the mat. Gently tuck that chin so the neck is nice and straight. I'm going to bring that knee a little bit closer to the chest, almost like towards that armpit. Because we don't want it near the ribs. Nice stretch here. And gently release. We're going to place that left hand on that right knee. We're going to do a little bit of a deeper spinal twist, and then right arm comes out into a T. And then we'll gently allow that knee to fall over to the left one more time. And again, you can use that hand to guide it. You could also place blankets, bolster underneath the right foot to help support it. Block. And again, you can look straight up to the sky, or if it feels comfortable on your neck, looking over to the right, so the opposite of the direction your leg is going. And then we'll gently come back to center, releasing that leg down. So this time I'm going to bring the left. So the left one's going to come, we're going to interlace those hands underneath that knee. And again, it helps to flex that foot to allow that calf to come down. And then gently bring that knee close to the chest. Gently tuck that chin. Align for a nice flat spine, neck. We're trying to get everything in alignment. Using that breath. And slightly release that stretch. Place that right hand gently on the knee. Left arm comes out as a T this time. And then we'll gently bring that leg over to the right. And again, you can use a bolster, block, blanket to gently rest that foot on if you need. And again, you can look up Or we can gently turn that head to the opposite, so to the left. And a little bit of a deep spinal twist. Taking a moment. And then we'll gently bring that back to center. And gently release down. And we're going to come into our relaxing pose. So it may not be comfortable to have both legs flat on the mat. You may want to bring those knees up. And you really just want to focus on that spine being nice flat on the mat. So whatever is comfortable for you, you could even come into butterfly, bringing those soles of the feet together if you want to work on opening up those hips. So whatever feels comfortable. And we're going to have either our eyes open or eyes closed. It's completely up to you. And I want you to, we're going to start with tense and release in order to allow the body to truly become a little more relaxed this morning. So I want to start with, want you to squeeze those toes, ankles, calves, the entire lower body. I want you to squeeze it as tight as you possibly can. And then allow each part of that lower body to gently rest for a moment. So this time we're going to take those hands and we're going to make a fist. And we're going to squeeze them as tight as we possibly can. Squeezing those arms, those shoulders, those abs, everything, that entire upper body. Squeeze it as tight as you possibly can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then allow each part of that upper body to rest for a moment. So this time we're going to squeeze our faces in. And this can feel a little strange at first. And we just squeeze everything into the center. Squeeze it as tight as you possibly can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then gently relax all those facial muscles. Allow them to rest. And just resting for a moment. And to take a moment here, either with our eyes open or our eyes closed, have one hand on the belly, one on the upper chest. And just take a moment to acknowledge our breath one more time. You can daydream here for a moment, but if you feel like your thoughts go elsewhere, focus on that spot just below your belly button. And really connect back to your breath. And just take a few moments here to rest before we start the remainder of our day. And on your next breath, we're going to gently roll into a fetal position on either your right or left side. You go where you need to go. You need your hands to support your head for a moment. Take a moment here. And gently using that arm to pull you up. We're going to come into a sitting position to end our practice. You want to sit on a block to release those hips and knees a little. You can. It's one of my favorite ways to sit in those toes. So sitting up nice and tall. Bring those shoulders up, back, and down. And gently raise those arms up to the sky. And then exhale, pushing those palms down. I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to show you a different option. You can bring those hands straight up. Get a little more comfortable on the shoulders. And then push down. Gently one more time, whichever way you want to go. But this time those palms are going to meet. I'm going to bring your hands back down. Meet hands upwards. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me for Operation Remote Resilience, and I hope to see you next time.